I was just sitting here watching Mandela, the new version, and I'm being reminded how when he was in prison, how they killed his son, his firstborn. And then I'm connecting it with how they killed my firstborn son. And then also today I learned my raga, um, Stephen Marley, firstborn son, was found in his car dead right here in the same state, almost city. And here's Bob now. Every day is war, me say war, until there is no nation. Ah, you see, good over evil. I just said, you know what? Let me just come talk about this briefly because I wanted to just mention about Joe Mersa Joseph was um, Stephen Marley's oldest son name. We everybody we call him Joe Mersa, and he died. I learned that today. It's been all over, that Joe Mersa Joseph has died, and I know that's Stephen Marley's firstborn. And so as I'm here just remembering my beloved Mandela and being reminded that they did kill his firstborn as well. And I have a firstborn son that's been killed as well. And so I want to share something about the kingdom of darkness, how angry the kingdom of darkness is angry about that firstborn only son of God. So in replica, kind of like cloning a situation. Hey, that's why in one of them uploads I was talking about how God create and the devil counterfeit. Everything that God do, he come behind and do. So yes, so that's why the kingdom of darkness love to take the life of the firstborn son whenever they're doing their wickedness on different levels. Wickedness on level 2, level 3, level 4, the highest level of evil. They like to take the life of the firstborn son. And I say, in myself, and even outside of myself, I say, you know what I say to that? I say, let them all, because they can take 1 billion firstborn life and it still cannot equivalent to Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Let the kingdom of darkness take this firstborn and that firstborn and my firstborn and your firstborn. Jesus Christ gave his life for me, and no amount of evil from hell can take it back. So yeah, rest in peace, rest in perfect peace, Mersa. My raga. That's my raga, oh, Stephen Marley. That's my raga. I even refer, when I hear Joe Mercer died, I say Joe Mercer could have been my son, but not really, because he's 31 years old. He's a little bit too old, but why? Because Stephen Marley almost could have been my love. When I was 9 years old, there's a story about that. I was in Negril, Jamaica, about 9 years old, and when I got to the bus, there is a place on the beach, that used to have the music playing, and every night. The bonfire, the fire on the beach. I miss those kind of life. But anyhow, there was a band that had played, and when I got there, the party was over, the music was finished, and they were packing up, and I went on the stage just walking around, and there was a little boy running around there, and he was running around chasing me, trying to play with me. And he had dreads, at the time. And back in those days, it was like anybody that have dreadlocks, you don't want to, because it's supposed to be known as the rebellion, the rebellious group of people, or the outcast, the black ball of the table, and all that kind of stuff. So we were like, what's the word I want to say? We were told or taught wrong to stay away from natty dreads and dreadlocks type. So I was naive in my little 9-year-old stage when Stephen Marley was chasing me, trying to play with me, and me and my stupidity, stupid girl. I was like, I didn't know who he was at the time. And I was just like, this boy may run and go hide behind one Rasta man. And the Rasta man said to me, what's wrong with you, girl? And I'm complaining, said, this boy want play with me. I don't want play with him because my father tell me not to play with boys, and old nappy head boy trying to play with me. That's why. And the man said, you know who that is? Who you did? And he pointed like, that little boy trying to play with you. And I say, yeah. And he said, he looked at the other man and he said, this little girl, if she know who that is that's trying to play with her, she would want to play with him. And so I said, so who is that? And the Rasta man said to me, that's Bob Marley's son. And at the time I was like, so he's Bob Marley's son. I don't care. I don't want to play with him because my daddy told me not to play with boys. And that was that. And so, the funny thing is, it was about, so that happened when I was 9. That was in Negril, Jamaica, at the bus. I live right there. You walk in 10 minutes and you're there. And so it was when I was 30. I wasn't 30 yet. Oh, I was 27, I think. I was about 27 years old now, and I traveled to Chicago. I heard that Junior Gang was going to be in Chicago playing, and this was in 2007, I think. This was in 2007, '06 or '07. '07, I want to say. Anyhow, I drove with no of us, with nothing. I had nothing, but I drove for like, I don't know, 16 hours to get to Chicago, to get to the Junior Gang show. And after the show, hanging out, by the bus outside, with it was I remember the security guard Saji, and the one guy, that Keenan. Y'all remember Keenan? Anybody remember Keenan? When I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. So wave your flag. So I was out there with Keenan and right by the fence. And anyhow, after a little while, we got inside of the bus. Yes, the Junior Gang and them tour bus. And I was sitting down with Raga, and all hugged up on the couch there. I should go find that picture. But anyhow, the thing is that we played. And I didn't remember anything about when I was 9 years old. I was sitting there with Raga and I was busting my rhymes. I said I wrote a song for Junior Gang. And I say, you want to hear it? He said, yeah, let me hear it. And I, ow, ow, ow. Oh, Junior Gang, you're fabulous. And Stephen was singing the song. So we had a play moment. He was playful with me and he was so sweet. And hours later, I remember passing him, like 2 hours or so later, passing him in the lobby. And as he passed me by, he said, ow, 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 oh, Junior Gang, you're fabulous. And we laugh. And then it was years later, I put the two together. I said, but wait, you see how funny life is? When I was 9 years old, he was chasing me around the stage in Negril, Jamaica. He wanted to play with me and I didn't play with him. And it took 20 years later, because now I was 27. And that happened when I was 9. So roughly about 20 years later, Stephen Marley finally got to play for a moment with that little girl he was trying to play with when she was 9. So maybe if I had played with him when I was 9 in the grill, we could have formed something, and Joe Mersa would have been my son. So anyhow, when I heard the news today, I just said my son, because that's my raga. That's my raga. So anyhow, this week, I'm like, I'm like, I remember myself, I'm like the weeping prophet, I cry, I come to cry. Just like Jesus Christ came to be crucified, I come here, I come to cry. I must cry for the human race. So most time when you see me, and you see me crying, just know already what it is, okay? So I did come to just say, I really see something going on here with the kingdom of darkness. Love to take the life of the firstborn, our firstborn. Right now, all I can say is, my heart, I just send loving vibrations and healing vibrations straight to my raga and all his family and everybody that is attached to him, all my loved ones. They're my people. So, blessed love. I'm gone. I'm not gone. I'm soon come back.